I am right, you know I'm right, and I'm going to keep beating this drum until people actually listen to me. There is a lot of money in the FOSS world. You don't know how to ask for it. I'm not talking to you, the regular Linux user. I'm talking to the people out there who are running these big FOSS projects. Yes, it's a good idea to run a social media campaign on Twitter, the Fediverse, on YouTube. It's probably a better idea to run the social media campaign and then team up with journalists and YouTubers to promote the fact that you're actually doing a social media campaign, you know. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. For example, see the release of the Cosmic Desktop by System 76. They did press releases, they did press events, they brought people on to actually talk about Cosmic, and a lot of people started to talk about Cosmic. And we've talked about this many times in the past. Thunderbird. This is the project that truly made me realize just how much money is in the FOSS world, and the fact that you can actually get new people to donate to a project. Starting in 2022, when they did a major update, they had a browser pop-up appear that said, hey, if you support Thunderbird, if you like the work we're doing, donate to the project. This had a massive effect on funding. Now, don't get it wrong, they were doing pretty good in 2021, but they did a lot better in 2022. Now, of course, not every single user is gonna be happy with this. How do I stop the donation pop-up? Why does Thunderbird want a donation from me without giving me a chance to figure out if they are helping me? Thunderbird now opens your browser and loads a page begging for donations when you update. I don't want to make more of this than there is, and then just goes on to complain about there being a donation prompt. But here's the thing. When you are fishing with a wide net, your goal is not to catch every single fish. Your goal is to catch a lot of fish. Turns out, if you fish in the right location, there's a lot of fish there. And I know you might not be happy with it, but the numbers are undeniable. This is a giant success, but far more importantly, not a one-off success. So this was 2022's number, this is 2023. Now 2024 might look considerably lower, that's only because they're only counting up to August right now. The red line here is the 2024 line. It looks basically on track with 2023. Obviously, biggest donation spikes are always the end of the year, so we'll have to wait and see if that actually happens. But considering it's only been going up these 2 years, I would be very, very surprised if that didn't happen. And end of the year is always a big donation time for any single project, for the simple reason that end of the year is when a lot of giving holidays take place, whether it be Christmas or other similar holidays. Different traditions do things around New Year's. A lot of people just find the end of the year to be a time where they want to give to other people. It's the same with your friends. It's the same with the FOSS project. Now, as you can tell from the title, we are here to talk about KDE, who I completely forgot had worked on their own donation prompt, not opening something in your web browser, but something a lot less intrusive. And because I forgot about it, I went and posted this. Oh, when did this get merged? Now, for anyone who remembers videos that I make, because I tend to forget them myself, I made a video about the merge request, and I believe at the time it had already been merged. But anyway, what it says is donate to KDE. KDE needs your help. Donations fund development and infrastructure important for KDE's continued existence, giving you two options, donate and no thanks. This shows once per year in December. If you say no thanks, it does not show up again until the following year. Also, if you super duper never ever want to see this, this can be fully disabled and never appear. So if you're a distro developer and you don't want prompts like this to appear, it can just be removed. Or if you're a user and never wants to see it, it can be removed. I don't know why you would remove it. It's, again, once per year, only in December, upon your first boot in the month. Whilst I don't mind Thunderbird's solution, this is considerably less intrusive. being less intrusive, it is going to be less effective. That doesn't mean it's not going to be effective whatsoever. Of course, people are still going to find a reason to complain, but what truly matters is the results. And those results are something. Keep in mind, I am recording this 4 days into December, so this is not even accounting for the regular December donations that are going to come later in the month. Right now, this is in euros, 45,000. Now, when I originally planned this video, which was yesterday? Day before, that said 32,000. When people first noticed this was being successful, I think it was only at like 16 or 17,000. That was the day of. But this is the crazier part. This isn't every KDE user. Obviously, there are people that are going to turn the system on later in the month, but that's not what I'm talking about. This only counts Arch Linux, Fedora KDE, KDE Neon, OpenSUSE Tumbleweed, those distros that ship relatively quick updates. Kubuntu and Debian are shipping a version of KDE that doesn't have this notification yet, so they're not going to be included in this dataset. Now, I'm sure some of their users are going to go and donate, but they're not going to have the little prompt on their screen asking them to do so. So there is a lot of people out there who are potentially next year also going to donate. When I first planned out this video, I was like, oh yeah, 50,000, that seemed possible, right? It was at 32 at the time. 50 seems like it's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what this number is going to be. Very possibly like 60 or 70,000? Also, another thing, this is PayPal donations. Only PayPal donations. They have other donation sources as well that are linked to when you click that donation window. So I don't actually know what the proper total is. It's almost certainly over 50,000. I have no idea what the actual number is. Also, speaking of PayPal, the donation messages are public, okay? Just keep that in mind in case you think it's a good idea to write something that shouldn't be listed here. Like, apparently someone wrote their address and that had to be manually moderated out. So don't do that. Now, just to understand how crazy this is in the context of prior year's donations, again, not the entire month being finished, let's have a look at some earlier years. Here is 2023. So again, the peak is December, 9,557, with the second top being 8,452.61 in November. Let's go to 2022. Here we have 4,639.60, and January 3,271.36. Let's go to 2021. Again, the peak is December, 9,826, and then May is the second peak, 8,965. So every other year, the donation peak is still December, but the difference between the peak and then the second top is giant this year. Now, I do want to say the peak being in December isn't solely just the fact that people are more giving in December. Obviously, that plays into it as well, but they also like to run a funding drive in December as well, because, again, people give in December, so it's the best time to run a funding drive. And 2024 is absolutely no exception as well. This year, it is... Oh, it's gone. Oh, I'll find the archive. Give me a moment. Blue Friday is back. This one they ran in November, not December, and it was up yesterday, but I guess they must have ended it and I just didn't have the archive link. Anyway, the idea here was for people that don't want to go and support big companies during Black Friday, buying things they don't need, why don't you just go and support a project that is trying to do good in the world, that is this great open source project that you probably have used for a very long time, but had you ever actually considered going and supporting the project directly? Maybe not. Maybe you have. If you're an old donor and you want to come back, this was a great time to do so, but they're also encouraging people to do this monthly or annually donation where it continuously renews so they have a more consistent stream. Obviously not required, but it was something they would definitely like people to do. But also, I think this is really cool, and I think more projects should do this as well, adopting an application. This is actually still going. You can go and do so still now. Basically, the idea here is if you donate 49.50 euros or more, you basically become a supporter of the application and your name gets listed alongside the application. So obviously the first ones they ran, they got picked up very quickly because they have a limit of how many people can be an adopter. Again, FOMO, very important. They started with things like Spectacle, Console, Ocular, Kate, things that most people know. And now it's some of the still popular applications and good applications, but less known, right? So it's still a reason to go and do so if you want to have a project that you want to directly support, but people who wanted their names attached to something big, run in there straight away. And if you do go and adopt an application, you'll be listed as a supporter until April 2025, by which time they will probably run another one and you can become a supporter of the next version then. Yes, this number is very, very impressive, but I'm genuinely curious to see what the final numbers are actually going to be. I'm looking at my notes right now. I've got written down that 40k by the end of the year is possible, but maybe not likely. I was wrong there. God, I said like 60, 70,000. I don't want to have some like insane goal that's just never going to be hit. 60 definitely seems viable, right? Especially with some of the coverage of the donation going well, that's going to encourage more people to go and check out the donation. This is a really good year for KDE, and I really hope this continues into the next year with more distros actually having it enabled. Debian, Ubuntu, and I want to know what the number looks like next year, because like, do I want to make a prediction like 100k, right? Like, I don't want to make a prediction like that, but it's not impossible, right? Maybe it's not likely, but it's certainly not impossible. Along with that, I really hope there is work being done to bring in the journalists, bring in content creators to actually promote what is going on in these projects, promote these funding drives, because I had no idea that Blue Friday was going on until I actually went to the KDE website while I was researching this video. Like, KDE people have my email. They have everyone else's email. I'm sure they have Phoronix and all of these other emails. And just a simple press release that something's going on. Hey, we're running a funding drive. Would you like to promote it? Just something simple like that, I think would go a very long way in actually making sure that people who have audiences can get this out to people who you want to support the project. This doesn't just go out to KDE, this also goes out to System 76, who I think are doing a great job with this, but also GNOME, right? Like, yes, I might have some negative opinions of GNOME, but we're all here to support free software, we're all here to make the Linux desktop better. I know people in the GNOME project have my email and know how to contact me and know how to contact all of these other people. Just a simple press release. 5 minutes. 5 minutes of writing, and so much more can be done. But what do you think? What do you think of the success? Did you donate? Did you donate before? Are you a return donator, or is this your first time? In my case, actually first time donating to KDE. So let me know your thoughts down below. If you liked the video, go like the video. And if you really like the video and you want to become one of these amazing people over here and support my work, check out the Patreon, Scribes, Liberapay, linked in the description down below. That's going to be it for me, and what do you think the number's actually going to stop at?